interestingly enough, I think God speaks to me through books because I was at a bookstore before I applied for that job, and a book fell off the shelf. I swear it fell off the shelf in the bookstore, uh, in Sherman Oaks at the Barnes and Nobles on Ventura Boulevard. Um, and it said "Too Busy Not to Pray." The book was called "Too Busy Not to Pray." And I remember reading that book before I had that meeting with the guy. And, the whole thing was God order my steps, light my path, show me, because literally I was at a loss. Like that was a death for me. That was my first company. And to lose that to partners that I had brought in, hoping to support the dream, only to steal the dream, or so I thought, was very, very devastating. I was very invested and it was very devastating. So I would say to anyone, what does happen? It happened twice to me. I was working in the business, doing music videos and commercials, trying to make films, and I met Rico Wade with Organized Noise. And he said, I want to have a film company. I want to, and I said, great. And then he said, come work with me. Okay, perfect. And we were going to do a company called Red Clay. And then a year in, we weren't making films. We were still making music. But I had a whole lot of books I was reading, and I was really studying how the studio system worked and everything. And I remember someone called me and asked me to do them a favor. They were shooting a video, and they said, can you come and help us? Because the people are going to come. We got the money for the budget, but we really just got the money for the budget. We don't really know what we're doing. And I said, hey, can I take a couple of days to go help out my friends? And he was like, sure, of course, whatever. And I remember coming back and sitting in the office, bawling my eyes out. And he said, what is wrong with you? And I said, I'm a producer. And he said, okay, of course. What's the problem? And I was like, but I'm not producing. I'm not producing here. You're making music and I'm keeping you on track. And he said, what does that mean? And I said, I can't, I need to go produce it. I gave a speech to the kids the other day, and I was like, find that thing that you would do if you wasn't getting paid for it. And when you're not doing it, hurts.